And welcome back and welcome to a very special edition of Sports. We're coming to you from SEC Media Days 2013, and today it's college football's biggest preseason party.
So what can we expect coming up in sports? What was Johnny Manziel saying? Give us a little preview about what he was talking about.
You know what? One of the first things he said is people forget that I'm just a 20-year-old kid. And so he expands on that and some of the pressure and what a crazy year it's been for him. And also, we haven't forgot about the Auburn Tigers. We'll talk about new head coach Gus Malzahn, as well as some of the players on the new era at Auburn football. And welcome back and welcome to a very special edition of True Tiger Sports. We're coming to you from day 2 of 2013 SEC Media Days, where today it started off coverage with a bang early this morning when Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel took the podium talking pressure, popularity.
And Aaron Murray also returning for his senior campaign.
That's right, and Georgia actually loses a lot of people on the defense, so we're going to be asking Aaron Murray why he decided to come back and play quarterback for his senior season, and if he thinks that they can go just as far this year with a decimated core when it comes to the defense. Thanks, Dee. Well, it's the last and final day of SEC Media Days 2013, and certainly it did not disappoint. We had Alabama and Georgia, a rematch per se of the SEC championship game, and both teams having some really good things to say about not only on-field issues, but off-field issues as well, because some of the biggest stories have been off-field issues.
Yeah, so it was the decidedly Roll Tide favored crowd down there, but everyone was still having a good time. Chelsa joining us now with a look at what the coaches were saying as they made their rounds today around media days.
Well, it definitely was Roll Tide flavored up here as well. We talked to Nick Saban about not only his quest for the three-peat, but also some off-field issues involving A.J. McCarron, and also we talked to Mark Richt on that same issue and why Aaron Murray thinks people are being a little too hard on these kids today.
So Chelsea will have the full lowdown on SEC Media Days coming up just a little bit later.
We had some big storylines here today, but possibly the biggest of the weekend was seeing how Alabama thought that they may get the three-peat. Alabama's Nick Saban talked about the biggest threat to his team, and believe it or not, it's not Texas A&M or Georgia.
The players are gone. SEC Media Days is now officially in the books, but that means we're still going to keep talking about it. Chelsa's joining me now. And Chelsea, what were some of the big storylines emerging out of Media Days for our big teams, Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia?
Well, coincidentally, some of the biggest stories from those teams were the biggest stories out of the whole SEC Media Days. For Auburn, you had head coach Gus Malzahn taking the podium for the first time as a head coach, and you couldn't contain the excitement people had, the fans, for him as a new head coach. And also Alabama looking for the three-peat, and Nick Saban talking about the biggest threat to his team, not on the field but off the field, when he talks about complacency. And as far as Georgia goes, they're talking about losing 8 starters on the defense, but they're ready to go because they have one of the best offenses and backfields in the whole country. And with that, the next thing we have on the calendar is the start of football season, which we're all excited about. But in some somber news, Auburn basketball getting some bad news today as Shaq Johnson dismissed from the team for a violation of team rules. But that's going to do it for sports. Sending it back to you.